Welcome back to Thursday. Sunny skies over downtown Vancouver at 7:46 right now. And we're going to be talking about a very serious issue locally. The Battered Women's Support Services Group is looking for more volunteers to help with its crisis line because of the explosion of calls during COVID-19. We're going to bring in Executive Director right now, Angela Marie McDougall. Welcome back to BT.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here this morning.
Of course, this is a very important issue. I want to start off with, how has the pandemic been so hard for those trapped in abusive relationships?
I mean, I think we've been hearing in a number of different places, through government, through the UN, about, and then also from colleagues in China, about the reality of what it means to be in an abusive relationship under a quarantine mandate. So from March until we started to sort of come out of the social distancing and social isolation, our organization experienced a 300% increase in calls to our crisis line. And that started back in March. And so we scaled up our crisis line to 24 hours, 7 days a week. We did that in a day. And then we began to receive all kinds of calls. And so what it means is that what we heard was that victims were at home. They weren't able to access support services. They didn't have a break. The home became a pressure cooker for experiences of domestic violence. Combined with the fact that domestic violence, one of the hallmarks of domestic violence is isolation. So it really gave a lot of power to the abusive partner being in isolation.
And the sad irony is that we've been, sort of encouraging people to stay away from big groups and also sort of become more isolated, and that can be conducive to an abusive relationship, unfortunately. So usually you would have in-person contact all the time through your services, but you had to move a little more virtually. What are some of the challenges associated with that, Angela?
Well, we kept our office open so that we could respond to drop-ins, and we had staff on site all day. Our office is fairly large, and so social distancing hasn't been a problem. And then our crisis line has been operational for almost 40 years, and so we continued that, but we expanded the services to 24/7. And so right now that we've been increasing services where now we're offering counseling and crisis support on site. Again, with social distancing in place, we've got a really good COVID-19 protocol. And we continue to answer crisis calls, which is to say from March until the end of July, we responded to over 6,800 calls, and we currently have 2,200 women accessing our services on an ongoing basis.
Unbelievable. So if people want to volunteer for the crisis line, what type of training is required, and what kind of people are you looking for?
Yeah, so we've been offering a training for 40 years, and our crisis line can't be answered actually without the help of volunteers. And when we scaled up to 24 hours, we really needed additional assistance. And so we've been doing this call out. And so what we do for our training, it's a 12-week training. It's theoretically sound. It is very skill-based. It's based on a lot of personal exploration, but also how to respond to the needs of callers. So a whole range of skills and resources and information. And so the training is done virtually now, which has been great. Our first virtual cohort graduated in June. We need another 20 to 40 volunteers. And so we've increased our training from 2 times a year now to 3 times a year in order to meet that demand in calls.
All right, Angela, thank you so much for coming on and shedding some light on this very important subject.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Of course. You have a great day. That's Angela Marie McDougall, Executive Director of the Battered Women's Support Services. And we'll be